Welcome back to another episode of Offseason Fun with the Hammer and Skinny. I'm your host, the Hammer.
And I'm Skinny Domestic. 2 weeks. It's been another 2 weeks. These 2 weeks seem so long every time.
They do.
It sucks because there's so much stuff going on, but I actually have to do things with my life. JK, I just bought a PC. I've been playing video games.
Terrible.
But welcome back to the off-season episodes. We got fun stuff. Not all the things that probably happened because we probably missed some things or things that kind of went unnoticed. Yeah. We have the news, of course. We're bringing back bad betting because I didn't do it last episode. We're going to try to continue to do that. And then just some other news. We have like upcoming XFL, which we'll have to do the pick'ems for that because that's this weekend, Easter weekend.
Oh, I did not do that.
Well, we'll just do it.
Have to go
we can just do it as we go. All right, yeah. No, not XFL, UFL. Sorry, UFL schedule.
UFL.
So, Marcus, why don't you go ahead and get us started on news?
So some of this stuff is going to feel old because it's been since last time we recorded that it happened. So let's brief over some of them. Chancey Gardner-Johnson back to the Eagles. 3 years, $33 million deal. Good for the Eagles.
Woot.
Good signing. You guys needed the help. Obviously, your defense was good once he was there. And he's kind of the only one that left that defense. So.
I'm so excited.
Oh, shoot. I need a beer. I didn't even think about that. The Steelers traded Deontay Johnson for Deontay Jackson from the Panthers, and they swapped some picks. I think it was like a 6th or 5th round pick. Good. This is really good for the Panthers. You give Bryce Young a younger weapon than Adam Thielen, so I've always been a big Deontay Johnson guy. I feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers just kind of done him disjustice with the quarterbacks they brought in. I feel like if he has a semi-talented quarterback, he could be really, really good.
Yeah.
Pairing him up with Adam Thielen, that'll be fun.
I think it's like over-under for receiving yards on the year is like 865 or something like that. So,
you know what? Way too early to say. I'll take the over.
Yeah.
I'm saying Bryce Young takes a step up.
Yeah.
They do some good things in the draft.
Yeah, I think so too.
Jameis Winston 1-year deal with the Browns.
Hell yeah. Should be a Viking, but
shoulda, coulda, woulda. Jonathan Owens to the Bears for a 2-year deal. I didn't get the contract. The Bears have done a lot in the offseason, as we'll talk about more. Really good signing at fantasy implications too for this one. Mike Williams signs a 1-year, $15 million deal with the Jets. I love that.
I do too. And
he got released by the Chargers, by the way.
Now that you take him, you don't have to draft a wide receiver now in the first round like some people speculated. You know
what they can do now? They can go get the Georgia boy, the Georgia Bulldog.
Yeah, you can go get Brock Bowers at tight end if they wanted to.
Dude, that would be such a fun fantasy team. And then they got someone at quarterback. I don't know. I can't remember who it was, but it was someone. The Tyrod Taylor?
They have Aaron Rodgers.
No, but they got a backup.
Yeah, they have Tyrod Taylor. Yeah, they have Tyrod. Yeah.
Obviously, they have Aaron Rodgers.
Well, you were like making it sound like their quarterback is that.
Well,
signing.
like
I mean,
if Rodgers gets hurt again, that's what I'm thinking. Well, he might not be good by week 1. We don't know. He is 40 years old almost. So
yeah, that's true.
That's a good one. Carlton Davis in a 6th round pick traded to the Lions for a 3rd round pick. I like Carlton Davis. He's a good buck. I think he was playing was he with the Bucks or the Titans? I can't remember if he was the one that left, but he's a good corner. It'll be good depth for the Lions. Their secondary is kind of iffy, especially losing Gardner Johnson. It's like they need some help.
And you lose Cam Sutton.
Yeah, and Cam Sutton's a decent player too. So,
Yeah.
um, Jake Elliott signed to a 4-year extension.
Woot
So,
woot.
woot woot, woot woot.
Very
Um,
clutch kicker in the league.
the second best kicker under Blair Walsh all time. Um, Calvin Ridley signs a 4-year, $92 million deal with the Tennessee Titans. Holy smokes! Calvin Ridley went, and that's what I like to call highway robbery for a almost 30-year-old wide receiver.
Yep.
Bad move by the Titans. Really, really bad move by the Titans. You could have kept AJ Brown wanted what they say like
It was
$80 million or something like
Yeah, it
that.
was like 40. Yeah, it was like 4 years. The contracts were very similar, and you could have had a younger AJ Brown. You could have even went and got Mike Williams for cheaper. You know, like it,
I mean,
you want to
I,
put you want to surround Levis, or Levis right now is their quarterback. If see how that goes, but
who knows what they do?
yeah, with Levis, you want to surround him with more opportunity and having Pollard. I mean, that's a decent offense. DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin
Dude, it
Ridley,
is.
Pollard, and Spears. I would,
Sharp. Yes, Spears, yeah.
yeah. So
I don't know why I thought Sharp, but yeah, that's it. That'll be a decent team. Bobby Wagner signs a 1-year deal with the Commanders.
I don't like it because now he's in the division. Get him out. I mean, he's older, but he's still a good middle line. Like he's still a good linebacker.
Old
That
as dirt, man. Been in
I'd
the league
I'd
forever.
rather not have
Or-
him hitting Jalen Hurts or any of the offensive players.
I agree. Uh, for Jerry Jones going all in, their big move of the year is signing Eric Kendricks with the Cowboys. So he reignites, is it reignites? Reunites with Mike Zimmer. So he's back with Mike Zimmer. Woot woot
Oh my
woot woot. Um, I don't know. Cowboys don't have any money, man. That's why they didn't
Yeah,
sign Pollard. That's why Dak's taking it all because he's a greedy boy.
and they lost a bunch of players, so it'll be interesting.
hmm Harrison Smith restructures his contract and is going to stay with the Vikings. Big news for the Vikings. Woot 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 woot. Harrison Smith, gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Has really good numbers, as we talked about last offseason. Him
Could
compared
be,
to Troy Polamalu.
yeah, might be better than Troy Polamalu.
I think so too, but he's not as, Troy Polamalu has a ring, and Troy Polamalu like is flashy. Harrison Smith is that guy that shows up to work, does everything, but doesn't say anything. So,
Yeah,
but I'm excited about that.
he just needs to do a couple Head and Shoulder commercials, and
He was rocking long hair for a while. Like he was. He was looking like a legitimate Viking, dude. He like shaved the sides and then had like the hair up. It was kind of crazy. Um, Joe Flacco signs a 1-year, $4.5 million deal up to 8.7. Again, the Vikings missed out on Joe Flacco, who would have been way more fun to watch than Xavier Sam, but maybe Xavier Sam's better. Who knows? Lions extend Dan Campbell. Good
that's a
move. Dan Campbell is a really
move.
good head coach.
Very good move.
Desmond Ritter traded to the Cardinals for Rondale Moore, which the Falcons are really, really, really putting on some sneaky, decent like wide receivers. They got him, and obviously we talked about. I don't know if we talked about it this week or maybe it was last week. It happened where they got Darnell Mooney.
Last
Yeah.
episode. Yeah.
So that's Rondale Moore is someone that kind of has a lot of potential in the league to be like a hybrid, almost like a poor man's Debo, just not as big and strong,
Yeah.
where he can run the ball really well, like a kind of a Percy Harvin, Cordell Patterson type role. So
Well, and they're offensively, they got to go all in.
yeah, he's what we like to call a playmaker.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see a few nice weapons for Kirk. He kind of has a really decent offense for the Falcons. I hate you still, Kirk. Seahawks trade for Sam Howell. That's a smart move. That's a really smart move. Geno Smith sucked last year. He was not very good. and they signed Geno Smith to big money last offseason. I think it was a 3 year something million. I can't remember how much it was, but they signed him to legitimate money. It's good to have that backup plan. Sam Howell is like 24, so I still believe in Sam Howell. I think that last year, the first half of the year, Sam Howell looked like he was a superstar in the making. The second half, that Commanders team just collapsed. And speaking of the Commanders, this is a little bit off topic. I didn't have this on my notes, but they're getting sued by some Native American stuff because they said that once they win as the Redskins,
Oh
it was
yeah,
yeah, it was I don't
honoring
know
a
how they
chief.
word it.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
honoring a chief. Yeah, their name thing is just whatever at this point. Just move on.
yeah,
Just
do
move on.
something.
Like yeah. Go back to the Redskins if you really want to, but they won't. But
No. Jaguars sign or Jaguars agree to a 1 year deal with Eric Armstead, which will be good for the defense. He was a stud for the 49ers. He's a guy that's gotten really older, but
yeah,
still a solid defensive lineman. So
he'll give them numbers. They need it.
yeah, he won't hurt. That's for sure. Um, Bills signed Curtis Samuel to a 3 year, $30 million deal.
I don't like that.
Interesting. Interesting. That right there, I think, to me, is a sneaky signing. Curtis Samuel wasn't used to his potential that he has uh, in Washington. I feel like you have Stephon Diggs, Dalton Kincaid, what's the other tight end that they
Dawson
signed? His brother
Knox.
died. Dawson Knox, and you have Curtis Samuel, and that's about it. I kind of think Curtis Samuel could be a fly under the radar flex player this year in
Well,
fantasy.
the way it's going with the Bills, it always seems like the wide receiver 2 or 3 has a bigger game than the wide receiver 1 all the time. So,
Yeah,
and I imagine they're going to draft a wide receiver in the draft too. So,
yeah. Eagles did a lot this second week of free agency. They signed Devin White to a 1 year, $7.5 million deal. I think that's a good signing.
yeah, I'm excited. He had some injuries, kind of fell off a little
Hmm.
bit, and it's just time to bounce back off this 1 year deal. I'm
Just
excited.
win, baby.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm
you
so
you
excited.
should. I mean, you guys have spent some money. I don't know where you guys are pulling the money out of, but you have money
We
somewhere.
have it's
I guess
next
you had a
it's
couple people
it's
retiring.
next year where the cap space is going to start hit impact because Jalen Hurts still isn't making that crazy contract money yet. This is the last
Mm.
year before that starts hitting.
Um, Keenan Allen traded to the Bears for a fourth round pick. Whoa, whoa!
Robbery.
This has got robbery.
Robbery.
His best career year. He said that the Chargers asked him to take a pay cut, and he's like, "Why would I do that if I just had my best career year?" Um, big moves
Fourth
for the
round
Bears.
pick.
The Bears, the Bears. Obviously, we'll talk about that later. They had some implications with what they did at quarterback, but whoever is the Bears quarterback next year, they're coming into a pretty good offense. A lot of
Yes.
weapons on that offense that they did not
Yes.
have the past years. Um, Chiefs signed Hollywood Brown to a 1 year deal. That's big. That's probably the best wide receiver he's had since
Rasheed Rice.
yeah. Yeah, Rashid Rice, yeah.
Acting like he does,
Uh,
acting like Rasheed Rice
yeah.
isn't good.
Is Rashid Rice good or does Patty Mahomes just force feed him?
Well,
Rashid
when
Rice is good.
yeah,
He's a dog.
he's good.
He's a dog.
He's
He's
good.
really good. I like
Well,
Rashid
you
Rice
also
a
kind
lot.
of have to force feed him when Kadarius Tony's dropping passes, and
Yeah. Kadarius Tony, like the one thing that like in the off season we were all hoping for, and he just burnt us again.
yep,
Like it's like the third year. Like if anyone brings up Kadarius Tony in the off season for fantasy, I'm going to tell them to just politely go away, screw off, because that's not happening ever.
We
Vikings sign.
we politely asked them to leave.
Yeah, we firmly but politely asked them to leave. Vikings signed Jerry Tiller to a 1 year, $3.75 million deal.
I don't know who that is.
Uh,
So
His former first round pick. He played for the Chargers, I believe. He's a tackle, defensive tackle.
yeah, I don't.
He's young. He's like 27, 26
I only pay
years
attention to
old.
like 4 people on the Chargers.
Yeah, I know you do. Eagles trade for Kenny Pickett. Meh.
We needed a backup with Mariota leaving, so it's a
meh.
guy that if Jalen Hurts, Jalen Hurts has not played at least 1 or 2 games the last couple seasons, so it's a serviceable guy, and he's from Pittsburgh. Grew up an Eagles fan, so imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be a lifetime for it. What's funny is he didn't want to back up Russell Wilson, but he's okay with backing up Jalen Hurts.
He's like, Russell Wilson isn't that good. Jalen Hurts is legit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know, but
He okay. So I thought maybe there's some validity to it. He has terrible numbers. Like, he sucks. Kenny Pickett sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why. Like, last offseason, you get in the hype. People are talking up people, and I know me and you both were like, oh, maybe Kenny Pickett's going to be sneaky for fantasy and stuff like that. Kenny Pickett's not sneaky for anyone. Kenny Pickett has bad numbers if he was in the 80s.
Yeah.
He has bad numbers if it was the 50s. Like, he's throwing more interceptions and touchdowns. Like, Kenny, you're not good. You're not good at all.
When we traded for him, you remember the old Burger King commercial where the dude has really tiny hands, and they're like, "We're gonna go get a Whopper or whatever," or something like that. And it's like it's him, Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, and I don't remember the 4th person, but they put their faces over the guys, and they're like Kenny Pickett in Philadelphia, like they're talking about. I got these tiny hands. I can't. Oh gosh. If you haven't watched that commercial or seen that commercial, go watch it. It's hilarious.
It's a must watch. Aaron Donald retires.
Sad day.
Kind of crazy. Sad. Yeah, Aaron Donald is a future Hall of Famer. I believe that every single year of his career, he was either in the Pro Bowl, All Pro, or like second team.
He was a Pro Bowler every year. Him and Barry Sanders are the only 2. Both played 10 seasons and both retiring when they probably still could be playing.
Yeah. No, really, really, really good player. Cowboys released Michael Gallup. It's so sad that they do that now because Michael Gallup would have gotten big money somewhere else, and he would have, I don't know, been a number 1 or 2, like actually used.
Yeah.
Unlike Dallas, because they can't pass the ball really well except to CeeDee Lamb. Rams signed Jimmy Garoppolo. Steroid taking Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, his contract is worth up to $12 billion if he with incentives and stuff. I thought that one was kind of weird. It's like
you need a backup quarterback. $12 million is pretty cheap.
Could have just re-signed Carson Wentz. Guy actually, won them a game, but here we are.
Yeah. Jets over here making some splashes. Signed Tyron Smith to I think it was a 1-year deal. I don't have that written down.
He's only 30 years old.
He's been in the league forever.
But he's only 30.
I know. I'm pretty sure he was the left tackle for what's his nuts? Look it up. I'm pretty sure he was the left tackle for Tony Romo. I don't know. It's hard because all those.
Or no, he's 33. Who am I thinking of that's only 30? He's 33. But who? I don't know. Still, being only 33, I feel like should be like 50.
Yeah, he feels like he's been in the league forever. Steelers trade a 6th-round pick for Justin Fields. Highway robbery. The Steelers by far have had the best offseason I've seen a franchise have in a long time. The Eagles have had a good one too, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, the Steelers are finessing.
Out of the water.
Yeah,
they are finessing. Okay. We need to break this down. Sorry, AJ. I know you're going to be upset. Supposedly, the Bears asked Justin Fields and tried to do right by Justin Fields, and that's why they traded him to a team that he wanted to go, and the only team he wanted to go was the Steelers. I don't believe that at all. What NFL franchise in the history of the whole NFL has ever sent a player to where they want for something? Because that's under market value for Justin Fields. Justin Fields, to me, is worth at least a second or third round pick at the minimum. I think, and maybe multiple, because he's shown some he's shown some promise in the league.
Yeah,
they got him cheap.
Well, and the thing is too is like other teams had called them, and the fact that other teams are saying that this like the 6th round pick was too high of an asking price for them is a shocker to me.
They said the 6th round pick was too high.
Other teams, the price for Justin Fields that the Bears were asking for was allegedly too high for teams that were reaching out. So either one.
Oh no.
It
wasn't a 6th round pick. It couldn't have been a 6th round pick.
Either one, they were. Yeah, the Bears were asking for like a 3rd or 4th, and then teams would say no.
I think a first.
And then teams would
First
say no,
second.
and then they got desperate because they're like, well, we don't want him. We want him gone. So, I don't know. I just thought it was weird. I feel like, even as a backup quarterback, I would have been like, trade a 6th round pick for Justin Fields. He's literally Jalen Hurts, just not as leg strong, in terms of maybe not as good of a passer either, but he's
a better runner than Jalen.
Well, yeah, definitely a better runner.
Yeah,
but like it's two mobile quarterbacks, so it's not like you have Jalen Hurts and then your backup quarterback's
how much did you guys trade for Kenny Pickett?
I want to say like a 4th and I don't know. I think
look it up. You got a computer.
I think a 4th.
If you guys traded a 4th round pick for Kenny Pickett with his dog shit numbers compared to Justin Fields, so I'm not a big Justin Fields guy. He did win me this fantasy championship, so I will always love me some Justin Fields, but I don't get that one at all. I think that's mismanagement of the franchise. They don't do players well. No one ever does. So the fact that they said that they did that, I feel like it's kind of there's some more stuff going on behind the scenes that they're like, ooh, we kind of missed the boat because Kirk Cousins went to the Falcons. Oh,
all
by
right.
the way,
the number, all right, along with Pickett with a 2024 4th round pick, and then the Eagles gave up a 3rd and a pair of 7s. So we also got a 4th round pick included with it. So,
dude, but still,
yeah, a 3rd round
gave up.
If you don't include the 4th from the Steelers, I'd probably say like a 5th would be like reasonable, but
yeah.
I mean, 2 7th round picks 90% of the time, 99% of the time don't matter.
No, I mean, except for tell the San Francisco 49ers that. But,
yeah.
No, it's crazy. I don't get that at all. I mean, now you would assume that they'd go with Caleb Williams, but
yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see what they do.
We'll see. Weird move though. Great move by the Steelers. Leighton Vander Esk retires due to his neck issues he's had for
all because his teammate. He hit his teammate.
Yeah, terrible.
Hit his teammate.
I remember that.
Yeah, that's what.
Taron Johnson, 3 years, $31 million, and resigns with the Bills. Their cornerback. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, Taron Johnson. Yep. I like it. You need it. You're
good. Yeah.
Especially
losing the guys that they did this year. They got to get a DB in the draft because they're getting
they need They just need secondary in the draft. You need safety. You need corner. You just go at that. Don't even draft anything else.
Secondary and wide receivers is what you need.
Yep.
Chase Young to the Saints.
He-
Oh, you know what I want to say? I want to stop this. You say, well, let's finish this, and I want to say something after that.
Okay. I like it. Him and Cam Jordan going to be a very fun duo, I think. The biggest thing with him is just him not giving up every play, like actually trying every play. He wanted to be a Saint. They're paying him decent money to go be there for a year. So, I think it's a year, right?
Yeah, I think it is. Just a 1 year deal.
He's got 1 year to prove that he can get a longer term contract somewhere, and he needs to produce.
Potential.
Yeah.
He's got potential.
Yeah.
Dude, the Falcons need some repercussions because supposedly they were talking to Kirk Cousins way before any of that, way before free agency started.
I saw that. It was like during
it's
the season.
okay. Yeah, I know. Kirk's a bad person, dude. Like this, honestly, Kirk tainted my my perception on him so bad with all this stuff because, you look back at all the stuff talking about like Kirk Cousins. He's like, I want to retire a Viking. I want to retire a Redskin. I want to retire a Falcon. Kirk's going to get another contract and he's going to retire an Eagle. You know what I mean? I don't know what he's going to do, but I don't know, some shady stuff going on in the Kirk Cousins and Falcon stuff. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, of course. Everybody, all the Falcons guys are like, I don't think we tampered.
Yeah, I'm sure they do say that. They can just give Vikings their first round pick, and I feel like we potato. It's fair.
Yeah, let's see.
You want me to keep going, or what are you looking at?
Yeah, keep going.
Joshua Dobbs to the 49ers. I did have it on my list.
Yeah. You guys just swapped?
We just swapped. Yeah, we swapped quarterbacks. Joshua Dobbs, the Dobbernaut, throwing them missiles and winning us games. Probably the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my entire life. So we talked about Jerry Jeudy getting traded to the Browns. Jerry Jeudy gets a 3-year, $58 million deal with $41 million guaranteed. Do the Browns not like money?
No.
That to me, that's a crazy, 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 crazy amount of money for someone that's had 900 yards in their career one time. One time. Jerry Jeudy has never, ever, ever even been anywhere close to what he was supposed to be.
Yeah. What is it? It's like It's like a $58 million contract, but isn't like 41.
41. I said it. I said that already.
Sorry, I was reading something about Kirk. But I was still listening. Like,
say what you got to say about Kirk. How Kirk's a bad person.
Well, I was just trying to read what he exactly said that like brought the tampering. It was something about.
He said they talked to him before.
It was like a trainer or something.
Dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I'm just.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is something about a trainer. Also, with that, there was something else that was going around the NFL that I was going to say.
Yeah, let it slip. He had contact with the Falcons athletic trainer when he was technically employed by the Vikings.
Not cool, man.
Yeah.
Bengals signed Trent Brown to a 1-year deal. Shoring up that offensive line. Their offensive line, they spent big money on it last year. Adding Trent Brown, I think, is a good thing for that offensive line and keep Joe Burrow protected because he needs it.
Dude, that's a big starting left and right tackle. Like,
yeah,
they
spent money.
Yeah, like that's two dudes that I think are like 6'5" plus 330 pounds plus. Like if they're if Joe Burrow's getting touched, they got a problem.
Yeah. Vikings signed Shaq Griffin to a 1-year, $6 million deal. I like it. Put him next to Byron Murphy. We had the Vikings last year. Whether these players are good or they just got opportunities because our defense was that bad and that lack of depth on there. the Vikings should have what they've done in the offseason. They should have a sneaky defense. It should be at least mid pack, I would imagine, if not creeping into that, you know, top 15, top 10 defenses
Yeah.
this year. Titans trade L'Jarius Sneed for a third round pick in swap seventh round picks in 2024, a third round 2025, and swap seventh round picks in 2024, and then they signed him to a 4-year, $76 million deal.
I was kind of shocked by this. I thought,
He was going to stay.
yeah, you keep him, run the franchise tag, and then get a contract worked out type thing. I was just kind of shocked, but
I mean, who knows?
yeah, I think it's a mistake on the Chiefs side. You have Chris Jones, you need to have somebody in that back, and I think Snead was definitely worth it in the secondary for him. $55 million guaranteed too. I mean, good chunk of change.
They've won. Well, Patrick Mahomes has won 3 Super Bowls now.
Yeah,
Like, I think they've figured out as long as they have Patrick Mahomes, you always have a chance. Like,
Yeah.
to be honest,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
like if I was a Chiefs fan right now, I'd be like, anyone can go, just keep Patrick Mahomes. That's all you need. He's the face of the NFL right now. He's the new golden boy, so he's playing well.
Yeah,
Cordero Patterson to the Steelers.
I don't like it.
With the new kickoff rule that we'll talk about later,
I
I feel like there are going to be more kick returns this year, though.
Yeah.
And he is,
Yeah.
he is, in my humble opinion, I think Cordero Patterson is a better kickoff returner than Devin Hester. I didn't say punt returner, but I said kickoff returner. He's the all-time leader. Cordero Patterson, we took him with a first-round pick out of Tennessee. The year that we took Xavier Rhodes, Sharif Floyd, and Cordero Patterson. Yes, I remember. 2013 draft. I was hyped. Sharif Floyd hurt himself. Xavier Rhodes was a monster, and Cordero Patterson never turned out to be anything except for like a journeyman, solid, do-it-all type of player. I'm happy with it. I can't complain about it. Like, I think that
Steelers
he's
fans
not going to
probably
start.
Like it. Yeah. Oh no.
But here's the thing: he can play wide receiver, so it doesn't matter. Like, he's so dual threat. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter what you put him at. Like, you can use him, and right now the Steelers are weak at wide receiver. They do need another wide receiver. Maybe Brandon Ayuk.
Hey,
I don't know.
I don't want them touching any of Najee's touches. All right. Najee's going to be RB1 again. He lost some weight, looking good. You don't.
I love Najee Harris. I've always loved Najee Harris.
You already got Jalen Warren trying to take away his touches. We don't need Cordell Patterson doing it either.
It ain't right what you're doing, Jalen. You're not a first-round pick like Najee. You're a sixth-round pick.
Yeah.
Or undrafted. Act like you're undrafted, damn it.
Yeah, get out of here.
Tre'Davious White signs with the Rams a 1-year, $10 million deal.
They needed it. I mean,
they did.
Yeah, they need it.
It was good. Tre'Davious White has been injured a lot, but I mean, I always thought he was top 5 corner in the league. And then, what's his face signed? I didn't write it down because it happened right before we left. Jadeveon Clowney signed with the
Panthers.
The Panthers. He's trying to get that money. It was like a 2-year, $20 million deal, wasn't it, or something like that?
I didn't look at the specifics. I just saw the.
It was like a 2-year deal. That man's chasing the money. He's like, for someone that was supposed to be such a generational talent, this is what, his like 6th team? Texans, Browns, Seahawks.
2-year, $20 million, worth up to 24. He'll receive bonuses for reaching. You know what's crazy? Wow. He's a defensive end, and he's going to start receiving bonuses for 8, 10, 12 sacks. This dude is literally going to be getting bonuses every year as long as he tries a little bit harder. Like, there's no way as a defensive end you can't get...
Look at his career stats. How many times has he gone over 10 sacks?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so Houston, Seattle, Tennessee, Cleveland, Baltimore. Yeah, 6 teams. How many times has he gone over 8 sacks? 2, 3, 4.
He's been in the league for how many years?
Since 2014. Which
so that's
his
10 years.
His rookie year he got injured, so he only played 4 games.
Doesn't matter.
And then
what's the most sacks he had? How many sacks does he have in 10 years?
He has 52.5. So he averages 5.
5.
Yeah, he's gone. So 0 is freshman year, rookie year, whatever. Rookie year. Why do I say freshman year? Rookie year, 4.5, 6. Then he got to 9.5. He got 6 sacks and made it to a Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
9.5. He went 20.
Overrated.
2017, 2018, he went 9.5 and 9. Made the Pro Bowl. And then Cleveland, he hit 9. And then last year, he hit 9.5. So,
that's a first overall pick. Compare him to Mario Williams. Are you on Pro Football Reference?
Yeah, I got you. And Mario Williams played 10 years in the league. Mario Williams has 32 less games. Wait, no, hold on. Okay, I was looking backwards here. All right, Mario Williams has 32 more games. He has 46 more sacks in 10 years.
Mario Williams was also drafted first overall by the Texans, correct?
Currently has about 60 more total tackles, 1 more forced fumble, 1 more Pro Bowl, and 2 more All-Pros.
Jadeveon Clowney is what I like to call highway robbery, and that just shows how incompetent the Texans were for so many years. You drafted a guy based off of 1 hit in college.
Yeah.
1 freaking hit in college. He wasn't that good. Like, he was good, but he wasn't like
and then you have to think like he was a part of that great Texans defense for like those 2 or 3 years that they were just like phenomenal. Yeah. But it was
he was a part of that great Texans defense that was all JJ Watt. All JJ Watt, what was that? Jonathan, what was that corner that they had? Oh, dude, that's going to bug me. Jonathan something.
I can see him. Jonathan Allen?
No. That's the defensive tackle for the Commanders.
I know.
I said Jonathan.
That's
I
the
can't
only...
think of his name. Brian Cushing's breaking.
Hey, dude. Brian Cushing, man.
Cushing is crazy.
Yeah, don't shit on Brian Cushing like it was all just JJ Watt. Yeah, but moving on. We gotta we gotta keep going on.
We're tail. After that, NFL pass.
Oh wait, no, hold on. I got more people news.
Okay.
J.K. Dobbins has been medically cleared for football activities again. He's
signed with the Vikings.
He's been cleared, so we'll see what happens now.
All the talent in the world.
Greg Joseph signs a 1-year deal with the Packers. Good old kicker news.
So they got rid of what's-his-face's brother?
No, they might have him just to compete.
Daniel Carson's brother was good at that. But okay, go ahead.
Damian Harris retires.
Really?
The running back?
Yeah, in and out. Patriot, former New England Patriot, Super Bowl winner.
Yeah, let's.
All around, great guy.
He played 5 seasons, had 2,100 rushing yards, 21 touchdowns.
I'm surprised no one signed Zeke yet.
Is he a Super Bowl winner?
5 years in the league, yes.
No,
I would imagine
no.
so.
2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023. No.
Oh, so no,
Yeah,
he's
he
not.
was not a Super Bowl winner. Well, no one cares. Move on. Safety
Not important.
Nick Scott signs with the Bengals.
Who?
Nick
Who
Scott
is that?
played for the
Don't know
Rams.
who he is. Obviously not that good.
Chargers signed Christian Fulton, DB. Played for the Titans, former
Oh, I
Titans
know who
too.
Christian Fulton is. Former first-round pick, wasn't he?
I think so. Yeah, former Titan DB, at least last year. Wide receiver Isaiah Hodgins gets a deal with the Giants, stays with the Giants. No one cares because it's the Giants. Cam Sutton's released by the Lions due to having outstanding warrants, and see how that goes. Doesn't really matter because once the playoffs hit, he sucked ass. Browns signed Deontay Foreman at running back. I like the move because you don't know what's going to happen with Nick Chubb. Center Evan Brown signs a 1-year deal with the Cardinals.
Wait. Deontay Foreman's still in the league? Oh, never mind. I was thinking about Freeman. Deontay Foreman, former Bears, former Texans.
Yeah. Center Evan Brown. I think he was like a backup center for the Lions or something. Or maybe not. I don't know. Center Bradley Bozeman signs with the Chargers. Maybe he was the center for the Lions. Safety Jordan Fuller signs with the Panthers.
Saw that.
Panthers making moves. Patriots signed KJ Osborne, another mediocre wide receiver for them.
KJ Osborne, mediocre. We're talking about elite right there. That's my boy. KJ gonna eat. Minnesota.
Titans release Andre Dillard, tackle, former Eagle. And then Josh Sweat reconstructed his contract, so he's staying in Philadelphia. Thought we were going to trade him. Hey, did you see what the Eagles are asking for Hassan Reddick?
How much?
A 2nd-round pick.
He's been good.
Yeah.
But he's kind of old now,
Yeah,
isn't
that's what I thought, too. I was like, the 2nd round's a little too high, I think. I think realistically, a 3rd if you find the right fit. There's been a couple teams that have allegedly looked into him. We'll see. I'd like to keep him. Oh, excuse me. I'd like to keep him, but he wants money. And
good thing the Vikings don't have that draft capital for that.
All right. Yeah, go on.
Drop tackle time, baby girl. You talked about it.
I made a post about it. It
did well, too.
Yeah, not too bad. I'm going to go a little deeper here real quick. NFLPA literally put out a statement asking the NFL to not do it. Don't do it. They're like, it's going to cause confusion. You can't even tell us what a hip drop tackle is. Technically by terms, like you're giving the definition is terrible. What do you want people to do in those situations? Like you just let the guy go. The next thing is okay, what happened to how did Hawkinson get hurt this year? He got hit low. It's going to cause people to do those other things that you don't want done and cause career-ending injuries. They're going to cause more career-ending injuries or long-term injuries than if 2 people got hurt last year from a hit drop tackle and everybody loses their shit. But getting hit in your knee, taking out ankles, like it's a bad turf, still the AstroTurf and stuff like that cause a lot of injuries. Oh no, we're not going to get rid of that at all. Soccer literally will not be played on turf. It's played on grass fields for multiple reasons, but one of them is for injury prevention. And the NFL is like, nah, we don't care about that. Those stats don't matter. We're gonna ban this hip drop tackle. You can't help it. It's football. You're gonna get hit. You know what you're like Joe Burrow said last year. You know, not pertaining to the hip drop tackle, but you know what you're getting yourself into and signing up for when you're gonna play football.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that.
Simple as. No, I agree. It's funny because the rhetoric for hip drop tackle, which is a made up term that they make because it sells and it's interesting and it does that. Hip drop tackle, these hip drop tackles are just getting out of hand. Oh, dude, the balloon thing again, dude. I'm good, man.
Dude, it knows. It knows.
It's because I'm too animated, but the hip drop tackle thing. I remember once we were in high school, we watched where that comes from. That's actually the Steelers that or not the Steelers, the Seahawks that kind of invented that, where they'd ice through the thighs, wrap them, turn them low. That used to be like what we were told to do in high school, and now that they're saying that that's illegal, like you might as well make it two-hand touch.
Yeah, I am
like at this point, like us playing backyard football once we were like 18, 19, like is more physical than what they're doing now.
Yeah, I remember I hit somebody so hard I cracked my shoulder, and I was like, all right. There was a large thump and a crack, and it was crazy.
True.
Yeah, I don't know. And then like the other one too is it's going to be like pass interference or defensive hold, like I guess more of pass interference, because defensive holding, if you're holding, you're holding. But pass interference, each referee crew or each ref individually is going to interpret it a little bit different than the next. I think intent is a huge thing. Like when it comes to that, like if you have, in terms of football speed, I guess is one thing. If you're blatant about it and fall into their, to take out their legs in that type of motion or whatever, like I think you can tell when it's intently done compared to when you're just trying to get a tackle. Like the Mark Andrews one, the dude was just trying to get a tackle to save a touchdown. If he doesn't, now that in that situation, if he can't tackle this player, the only option that he has is to dive for the feet, which most likely not going to take Mark Andrews down at the ankles from behind him and at a very bad angle. Mark Andrews walks in for a touchdown. And the NFL just recently came out and said, the average scoring was lower and they wanted to pick back up again, and this is going to be a way to do it. 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down for a hip drop tackle is insane to me. Like defensive holding, 5 yards and an automatic first down is already ridiculous. Sure, make it 5 yards, but not an automatic first down. Now it's just another bailout for offenses. And at this point, for me, with my children, I guess Miles is probably the only one that is going to potentially play football unless Dom decides to get into it like some kids in high school or whatever. Mm-hmm. If I'm at this point, I'm just telling my kid to play offense. I don't want him playing a defensive position. Go play offense. Mm-hmm. Go be on the side that's actually fun at this point because of how the rules are. Go play on the fun side of the ball. Like, yeah, you can go hit people and tackle people on defense, but once you get into these higher levels, if you were to get that high, what enjoyment do you have? You literally you have one way to tackle somebody or hit somebody that's legal, and everything else could always end up being a flag if they wanted to call it. It's just annoying. The NFL continues to put their hand into things that doesn't need to be fixed. I was worried that they were going to ban the brotherly shove. They didn't do that, surprisingly. I was shocked when that actually came out, where there was like no discussion for it. Completely shocked by it.
They shouldn't ban the brotherly shove.
No, they shouldn't, which they didn't. But I was really shocked that it didn't have a more of a discussion than what it did.
NFL, no fun league.
Yeah, you want to know what leagues haven't banned the hip drop tackle? NCAA,
UFL.
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 Um,
UFL. Ooh, 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 ooh. Battle Hawks,
uh,
baby.
Other things that happened at
Kickoff.
the owners' meeting. One, just real quick, the trade deadline got pushed back to being after week 9 instead of week 8, so you get one extra week of trade deadline. Um, I,
Crazy.
I I agree with it. You added an extra week to the league, whatever. I don't know how much of a difference it's going to really make. I guess one extra game to if you want to trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the big one was the new NFL kick rule, which if you were a XFL watcher or at least paid attention to it at all, you have already seen it in action. That's what I liked about the XFL is a lot of the stuff, not a lot, but rule changes that the NFL were looking into. The XFL is doing that. The UFL, now that it's the UFL, they are also going to be doing it still. So if the NFL is considering a rule change, the UFL will be doing it now. Now it's the kicker kicks from, what is it, the 40, 35, whatever they normally kick from. You have a, what's it called? The gold zone or something. I don't remember what it's called, but from the end zone to the 20, you can't move on offense or defense. The kicker or receiving team can't move until the ball is either hit or caught. And then if it's anywhere between the end zone and the 20, it has to be returned, which I think is going to be great. Instead of that kneel bullshit that, if you don't want to take it back, you can kneel it and get it at the 25. You still have your normal back of the end zone kicks. I think you start at the 25, whatever. And then each team lines up differently now. So you line up between...
They're closer.
Yeah, it's like the 40... You can line up anywhere between the 40 and 45 if you're on the kicking team. On the opposing team's side... And then it's between like the 30 and 35 for the receiving team. And then both teams can't move until the ball has been caught or touches inside the I'll call it the gold zone. I know it's not the gold zone, but the gold zone.
I think that's smart though, because this will help the NFL because they're the no fun league and they don't want injuries, but it'll also help the excitement because kick returners will actually be a threat again. Because you don't have guys flying down the field like, dude, someone like Cordero Patterson could have a couple kick return touchdowns. You know what I mean? It'll spark the league quite a bit, I think.
The only thing that I don't agree with it is if you don't make it to the gold zone. So, like, let's say you do, like, if you do a squib kick or whatever, you can't squib kick it anymore because if it lands before the 20, then the ball gets placed at the 40-yard line. So, like, or like even onside kicks. At that point, you're risking up field position on onside kick anyway, but the squib kick is non-existent now. So,
well, your 40 line, the offensive 40-yard line, or the defensive 40-yard line.
So the kick receiving team's 40-yard line. So if you don't get it to at least the gold zone, or past the end zone, you get it at the 40. I'm pretty sure.
Interesting.
And
that's all the news I have.
Real quick, the Netflix has announced its series. It's not quarterback. It's receiver with Devontae Adams, JJ, Kittle, Debo, and St. Brown. I really wish they didn't add a tight end in this one and did like a separate tight ends one. I feel like that would have been because I think what you do too, because like you did Marcus Mariota at quarterback, you don't need all five of the guys. Yeah. You don't need all 5 guys to be like top 10 talents or stars, like, or top 15
what would have been
even.
a good one to put in there? Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, just give, like, you got 2 dudes on the same team, like
Juju, someone that's like kind of like a wide receiver that's kind of been passed around a little bit.
Yeah, just something different. Like, imagine a tight end one of like Kelsey, Kittle. You get like 2 or 3 stars like Hawkinson or Laporta, but then you go and get like guys like Jonnu Smith and then like you see how different some of the are.
Yeah.
Like a Dawson Knox or something.
Irv Smith Jr.
Yeah, just like a guy that's still a tight end, but like nobody talks about. Like, go do that. Go do that instead. And then lastly, we'll finish it up here with bad betting. So the XFL, I was gonna do XFL, but the only XFL thing I could bet on was the championship winner, and I wasn't gonna do that. Oh, I guess we have two things. Sorry, we got to do our pick'ems. But
And awards, I thought.
Oh, and awards. Fuck. Yeah.
We can swing through it quick.
Yeah. Bad betting. I'm doing March Madness for this weekend. I did 2 for Friday, or 2 for Thursday, 2 for Friday. I don't remember what days they're playing. I took Iowa State. Go State. To cover 1.5 versus Illinois. I took Alabama plus 4.5 versus UNC. I took Marquette to cover minus 6.5 versus NC State, and then Houston minus 4.5 versus Duke. Right now, if you made a $10 parlay with that, you'd win about $122. Again, odds are subject to change. Let's go State.
Let's go State. UFL award winners, just really quickly.
Oh yeah, our preseason award winner projections.
Our preseason award winners. Obviously, I don't know everyone in the UFL. It's a lot of no names, a lot of people that are trying to get on NFL rosters. So it is hard. It'll take a couple years to really figure out who's who and stuff like that, and it'll be moving. It'll kind of be like college football because a lot of these people will be signed to NFL rosters. But my MVP this year, the man, the myth, the legend, the dude that's won multiple national championships, probably more known for his girlfriend, possibly wife now.
It's wife.
AJ, the man, McCarron. Keeps getting signed by the NFL so he can pay for his daughter's tuition to go somewhere. God knows what he's doing with the money with. But keeps getting signed to the Bengals and then requesting a release to be our QB1 for my Battlehawks. And I think that he is probably the best quarterback in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah, I also took McCarron. Caw-caw! Just a little biased opinion there, but yeah, I think he'll be MVP.
Yep. My offensive player of the year, 2020 was a disaster, folks. People were sad. I was sad. One of the tragedies that happened in 2020 was the XFL got destroyed. And the XFL in 2020, let me tell you, that was a riot. That was so fun to watch. Them shotgun and seltzers and the fucking the snake, like that was such a good time. Really, 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 it was. I wouldn't even call it a precursor for what happened because it was a good time of 2020, and the rest of it was just shit. Everything was. But former St. Louis Battlehawk, former Kansas City Chief, Jordan Teamu, the throwing Samoan, is going to be my offensive, the DC defender, simply because I don't know anyone else. So, good for you.
You have two quarterbacks. You have a quarterback being MVP and a quarterback being Offensive Player of the Year. All right. That's news. I'm going to keep it with the Battlehawk group here. Again, we're going to go with former XFL touchdown leader, former and current St. Louis Battlehawk, former Iowa State Cyclone, former Arizona Cardinal, former Philadelphia Eagle for one game, Hakeem Butler.
Draft profile. A poor man's Calvin Johnson is what they said. And he's been anything but Calvin Johnson.
But he's been what's a poor man's Calvin Johnson? Not Calvin Johnson, clearly. So
yeah, obviously not Calvin Johnson.
Hakeem Butler was a pass interference away from having one NFL touchdown, and it didn't happen because the guy, he's such a large animal and freak of an athlete, they held him. So, and PI'd him. Just terrible. Hakeem Butler, they The dude's 6'4", 6'5". He's a freak of an animal. Unfortunately, he can't. Oh, I guess he's a former Steeler too. He can't fucking make it in the league for some reason. Keem Butler, UFL.
Yeah, I agree. Coach of the year. No. Wade Phillips. The reason I picked Wade Phillips, dude, he's been on like every NFL roster imaginable as a defensive coordinator. Right? He was defensive coordinator, I believe.
Yeah.
So he was a former head coach. I think he was he the Broncos head coach? I believe. I don't know. I just know Wade Phillips. Heard the name many times. I don't even know what team was he for the Steamboats? Whatever team he's with, there's like a couple coaches that's like, oh, like former Minnesota Viking John D. Filippo and former Philadelphia Eagle John D. Filippo. Terrible coach. One of the worst. Kirk's first year. But he knew deep down in his heart Kirk was a bad person. That's why he tried to sabotage it. John D. Filippo, there's Doug Martin in there as an offensive coordinator. There's a lot of coaches out there that I was like, oh, really? They're coaching for the XFL. Yeah. But that's my guy.
I'm going to keep it with the St. Louis Battlehawks because they're going to go undefeated on the season, so you can't pass up their coach. His son is the current starting quarterback for the Iowa State Cyclones.
I don't know who that is.
Anthony Becht. Becht? Becht? B-E-C-H-T.
Oh, yeah.
That is our head
big
coach.
Anthony Becht guy.
I think it's Becht. He's the head coach. He was the head coach last year for the Battlehawks. Current head coach again. They're going to go undefeated, so he's the coach of the year.
He's the man.
Yeah, he's the man.
I just want to say this. Notable players notable coaches for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Chris Claiborne, former Minnesota Vikings outside linebacker. It's kind of cool. There's a lot of people that like really they're coaching now. I don't know. But go on to our pick'ems. You're gonna have to keep track of mine. You
didn't do Defensive Player of the Year?
Oh yeah, I did. Reuben Foster.
Me too.
Because dude was an animal for the 49ers for like 2 years and then just fell off.
Yeah, you can't be an animal. Well, he was the Defensive Player of the Year he didn't play in the XFL. What was the other one? The
USFL.
USFL. He was the Defensive Player of the Year like a couple years ago. So I was like, Reuben Foster can do it again. All right, so pick'ems. We got 4 total games this weekend because there's only 8 teams in the league. So let me do this here because I got to keep track for both of you and I.
Yep.
Oh, I got 2 keyboards. I got one work keyboard and one my keyboard. So
don't pick the wrong keyboard.
Well, my work computer's off right now, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. So first matchup is Saturday, March 30th. At 12 o'clock, we have the Birmingham Stallions versus the Arlington Renegades in Arlington, Texas, at the Choctaw Stadium, and it will be on Fox.
Give me the Renegades.
Renegades. I'm taking the Stallions.
It is or they said Steamboats.
No, the Birmingham Stallions versus the Arlington Renegades.
Yeah, give me the Renegades.
Renegade.
Now,
for the best game of the day, Saturday, March 30th, at 3 o'clock Central Time, the St. Louis Battlehawks versus the Michigan Panthers.
Ooh. Give me the Seahawks. The Battlehawks.
I, too, am going to take the Battlehawks. Our pick'ems are going to be so ass, I feel like.
Yeah.
All right.
I have no idea what we're getting into.
Sunday. Wait, we got Sunday football back after, what?
3 months. 2 months.
Not even February. Like 8 weeks, 7 weeks, not even a full month.
It feels like it's been forever, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. DC Defenders, which I think Jordan Teamu's on that team now, versus the San Antonio Brahmas. Brahmas.
Brahman.
That's 11 Central Time. I am taking.
Give me Tiamu, dude.
Yeah, the Defenders. I am also taking the Defenders. I think the Defenders are like the heavy team to win the league, but I could be wrong. All right. Last game at 2 p.m. Central Time, Sunday, March 31st. We have the Memphis Showboats versus the Houston Roughnecks.
Give me the Showboats, just cause.
All right. I am taking the Roughnecks.
And if you put all your money into whatever we said, you will win up to $1 million, supposedly, allegedly.
That's
allegedly.
You also have to bet like $1 million. Actually, how you do that is you bet, and then you take the cash out option of your $1 million back, and then you just don't bet.
True.
I have no idea. I've paid little attention to the UFL. I'm gonna watch it. Once I watch it, I'll pay attention. But up into this stuff, like
it'll be exciting because we're gonna get to a lull now before the draft. So at least the second week of April, the second week of April, once we're doing it before the draft, we'll be like, oh, you see this? Jordan Teamu rushed for 1,000 yards.
Yeah, we'll be like halfway through the season by the time the NFL draft comes up.
I know.
So, we'll have to shoot like mini videos for like our pick'ems, or at least have it down for us.
Yeah, we'll have to at least look at something.
Yeah, like every week now. So even next week
we can do a good idea for some short videos.
Yeah, we'll start doing that. But all right, we're just a little over an hour here. Thanks for tuning in to our off-season fun. It's gonna get better. Next time we film is another news session and all that. Maybe take a deeper dive into like some draft projections.
The draft, yeah.
But then the one after that is gonna be like our full draft coverage, and then
we'll talk about pink nailed Caleb Williams.
Oh, jeez. And then remember the first round of the draft we will be live streaming. So if you want to come in and join us during that live stream, we'll be doing that probably, honestly, through this and onto YouTube.
Dude,
so
I might have to take off the day because I might just get shit-faced during the draft.
So take off the next day like I did?
I was thinking about it. I was because I'm going to be sitting here talking to you just drinking.
You know what we should do?
What?
We should invite guests on during our live stream.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
let's get people. We'll talk to people. Maybe little Austin. He can come
jump into the draft.
Yeah. And Skyler. Yep. Who we could get like Solo or AJ.
Yeah, we'll find people. We'll find people. We'll think about people and invite some people in during the draft and see how that goes. But it'd be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But all right,
awesome.
Y'all have a blessed Thursday, even though it's Wednesday. Blessed rest of your Thursday. You. I guess whatever day you're listening to, because
have a happy Easter, fellows.
Yeah, happy Easter for those that celebrate. And yeah, cheers.
He has risen, huh?